Hey folks, welcome to another edition of the Live Ones, and we have new World Series champions. It wasn't even close. 7-0, the Braves close it out in Game 6 on Minute Maid Field. Pretty much every baseball fan who's not in the Houston area is happy with that outcome. I knew it was over when Jorge Soler cranked that monster of a moonshot, 446 feet, all the way out of Minute Maid Park. And then the Astros responded by hitting into double plays 2 innings in a row. Max Fried with a beautiful 4-hit shutout through 6 innings. The Braves are World Series champions for the first time in 26 years. As a reminder, Braves had a losing record at the trade deadline and are now World Series champions. Alex Anthopoulos wins General Manager of the Decade, as far as I'm concerned. A couple of pieces of breaking news during the day today. Investigators into that really bad, that fatal crash that Henry Ruggs had in Las Vegas have determined that he was driving his Corvette 154 miles an hour when he ran it into the RAV4 and killed its occupant. Now, I know the acceleration of Corvettes is insane, but you still physically need a half mile of run-up to get them up to that kind of a speed. And where Ruggs was driving in Las Vegas, if you've never been there, it's near the southwest corner of the city, a residential section that backs up to, I'm not kidding here, about a 100-foot-high embankment, the Las Vegas freeway, and then about 1,000 miles of desert before you hit the Mexican border. Now, I don't know if he was headed south or north when this happens, but for you to even be able to get the car up to speed in that part of town, I just can't imagine it was something like he passed out at the wheel with his foot on the accelerator. He almost certainly would have crashed into a house or rolled his car if that was the case. Dude was intentionally trying to see how fast he could go, okay? I mean, he was drunk. He was over twice the legal limit, but he was trying to see how fast that car could go. And even if your car is designed to go that fast, 154 miles an hour, doesn't mean the street you're driving it on is designed to accommodate it doing so. It rarely is, in fact. So I have to imagine they're going to make an example out of Ruggs. Just a horrible, horrible tragedy all around. High drama in Cleveland as Odell Beckham Jr. has basically, well, not basically, flat out been told to go home from practice. Of course, his father released an 11-minute video detailing all the times he's been open and Baker Mayfield hasn't thrown to him. Beckham is obviously frustrated with his role on the Browns, whatever's going on behind the scenes there. My guess is that he pulled a Ben Simmons and just said he didn't want to play anymore. But the problem is the trade deadline already passed yesterday. So the Browns' only option today would basically to waive Beckham, deactivate him for the remainder of the season, and try again to trade him going into the draft or release him and just save $15 million on the salary cap next season. Just eat this year. Or try to win without him. None of these options help the team at all this season. Actually, I'm starting to wonder if anyone actually wants to win the AFC North because it sure as hell doesn't seem like it right now. This was the new Browns year, and it looks like they're morphing back into the old Browns, unfortunately. Aaron Rodgers has been diagnosed with COVID and will miss the State Farm Bowl against the Chiefs this week because he was not vaccinated. In fact, he famously lobbied the league before the season to accept something called alternative treatments in lieu of proof of vaccination. Hey, Aaron, love you, buddy. I think you're one of the most talented, if not the most talented quarterback in football right now. But despite what your Trustafarian granola Simi Valley fiance tells you, oatmeal baths and bark tea are not the same thing as a vaccination, okay? Let's just lay that out there right now. We had a great night last night, hit one of our MACtion plays, our NBA play, and our NHL play to go 3-1. We're 5-2 on the week so far, going great. There's some more of all three of these sports tonight. Let's get right to them, and we're going back to the well with the MAC, with Northern Illinois at Kent State, and you wanted an example of how crazy insane the MAC always is. It's these two teams' records coming into this game. Northern Illinois, who no one expected to do much this year, is 6-2. They're 5-0 in conference play, and they're sitting in the driver's seat for the MAC title game. Meanwhile, Kent State, who a lot of people had penciled in as a favorite to win the MAC, had a really, really rough go of it, as expected in their first couple of weeks. And then they just, playing in conference play, they escaped with wins over Buffalo, Ohio, and Bowling Green, pretty much all by a touchdown or less, and got absolutely clobbered on the road against Western Michigan. Final score on that game was 64-31. Kent State, as anticipated, they've got no problems whatsoever on offense. It's the defensive side of the ball that's killing them. 123rd overall in yards allowed and 113th in points allowed. Unfortunately, that's also a problem for the Huskies tonight, who are 103rd overall against the rush. They have a better ranking against the pass, but that's because teams just have so much success running against them that they don't have to throw it. I don't expect either of these teams to do much on defense in terms of getting stops, but the one big edge the Flashes do have over the Huskies and what's kept them competitive, what's kept them with a 500 record, is their ability to generate turnovers. Kent State's defense is 6th overall in the entire country with 13 turnovers. Meanwhile, Northern Illinois is dead last in the country with 1. And when it comes to offense, there's just no question Kent State has a dynamic quarterback, a three-headed monster at running back, and a really deep receiver core that all combined for about 450 yards a game. Northern Illinois has been lucky. They've been very, very, very lucky. They've been winning games close, and they've been beating some teams who they really had no business beating. I think that luck runs out tonight. Give me Kent State minus 3.5 points tonight. That's my first official play of the night. So over to the NBA, and I'm taking a look at the Hornets and the Warriors. This is a trend that everybody is starting to notice. The unders are just hitting an insane amount in the NBA, 63% so far on the season. Everyone's got a theory on why. My personal opinion is it's the rule changes to fouls that they made in the offseason that prevent offensive players from grifting on pump fake lean-ins and trapping the arms on drives. It just lets defenders be a whole lot more physical when they're guarding. It lets them really make a whole lot more contact. Trae Young and James Harden have both been vocal about it. Frankly, I love it. I'd love to see a whole lot more physicality in this game. Frankly, these guys look like a bunch of 7-foot ballerinas sometimes, and I don't mean to belittle ballerinas. My wife is a ballet teacher, but these guys are not supposed to be delicate little flowers. But in any event, we're going to ride an over total tonight with the Hornets and the Warriors because they've got two of the fastest pace of play offenses in the league. Golden State plays the third fastest pace in the NBA. Charlotte plays the fifth. And it's reflective in their stats so far. These two teams are averaging a combined 228 points a game. Add to that the fact that Charlotte has one of the worst defenses in the NBA. They're playing against Steph Curry, who has not lost a single step all these years. He's still averaging 29 points a game, still insane from 3 points. And this game's going to be a track meet. I could see the total hitting 240 tonight, for real. I could see both teams getting up around 120. I could see Curry going for 40 of that by himself against this defense. It's so bad. So give me the over 226 points tonight, Hornets Warriors. So then moving over to the Cavs and the Trailblazers. Another over in the NBA, I know. I'm talking myself out of that. We do have some special circumstances tonight, though. The Cavaliers lineup is decimated. No Kevin Love, no Lauri Markkanen, both in the health and safety protocols. They're not saying that, but they're not saying it, but you know what that means. And we got the news today that Isaac Okoro has been officially ruled out with a hamstring strain. He's an excellent defender, and his presence is going to be missed, especially on the perimeter. When Okoro has been on the court, the Cavaliers allow a three-point percentage that's 5% lower than when he's off the court. It really, really makes a difference. Him not being there is going to open up C.J. McCollum like crazy to just drain those picture-perfect three-pointers. He's just absolutely on fire with so far this year. He's averaging 4 three-pointers per game through the first 7. No reason he can't go off tonight. Dame Lillard has not really been the dominating force on offense. He's known to be to open the season. I think there's still some bad feelings lingering from the playoffs a couple of months ago. But I've got a hunch he's due. And with all the talent the Cavs are missing tonight, they're an average defense at best to start with. I think he can get off to a hot start. So I'm looking at the first half tonight. Give me Portland on the first half, minus 2.5 tonight. I think they get it right. I think they put all the pieces together, and I think they get their first road win tonight. But I think they get a lot of their work done early. Trailblazers first half, minus 2.5 points. And so finally, we're going to go over to the NHL, and we're taking a look at the Hurricanes and the Blackhawks. The Hurricanes have gotten off to a literal perfect start through the first 3 weeks of the season. They're 8-0. They're 7-1 against the spread. Their offense is third in the league with 4.1 goals a game. Their defense is tops in the league, allowing only 1.5 goals a game. Frederik Andersen has just been stellar between the pipes. He's got a 1.29 GAA and 0.956 save percentage. He doesn't have that low GAA because the defense is keeping a whole lot of shots from him. No, he's making a ton of saves. He's averaging about 28 saves a game. The Blackhawks have had a nightmare of a season, of course, with all their off-the-ice problems, their president having to resign. The 0-7-1 start to the season, but they finally got that monkey off their back with a win against the Senators on Monday night. It's a good one. It's 5-1. But then, of course, nothing good lasts too long with this team. Now they're dealing with a COVID outbreak. No Isaac Phillips, no Tyler Johnson. Walter Kalynuk is out with a knee injury. These Blackhawks are going to be weak on defense tonight, which is going to put even more pressure on Marc-Andre Fleury. He's been playing a lot better as of late. As after a horrible start to the season, he's got a 970 save percentage over the past 2 games. He stopped 65 of 67 shots. But Carolina is Carolina. Their offense has been completely unstoppable, and they're jumping out to early leads, scoring 11 goals in 8 games in the first period. And I think they can do that again tonight. Give me the Hurricanes on the first period puck line, minus a half a goal. You can get it for an insanely value price at plus 160 right now. That's something I got to jump on when I see this lineup right now. Chicago may have gotten the monkey off of their back, but they're going up against the best team in hockey right now, a team that scores early and scores often. And with how solid Anderson has been in the goal, I don't think it's out of the question at all for the Hurricanes to be up at the end of the first. I think he blanks the Blackhawks tonight through the first, and I think the Hurricanes get themselves at least one goal against Fleury. So that's it for the Wednesday night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at Live One Sports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Wednesday night, and I will see you tomorrow.